Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, guys, let's talk about the market. Let's do a little recap, okay? Give this, trying to fix my charts real quick. Cool, cool. Think we're ready. All right, all right, guys. All right, well, let's see what happened. Let's take a good look at this market and let's see what we have for the next few days or even the upcoming trading sessions. And let's look at the levels and just a few sectors. All right. So we're going to update a little bit on /ES and QRTY, the FANGs, financials, airlines, retail, whatever. I'm going to go through a few things and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on the market and just my quick breakdown on the supply and demand levels that are very, very important to understand. So first and foremost, we do have this nice trend coming to the downside. What I want you guys to look at is two major things right now. The volume bars that are reaching this height, okay? This is where all the volatility is coming in right here in this piece. Also, we have this nice downtrend and we're basing out at this level, okay? This is what I want you guys to see, what makes perfect sense, all right? This piece right here, almost like a triple bottom right here, but we never made any lower lows. We're actually just holding with some good volume. So whenever we have a good volume, we're looking for buyers and sellers at the same time, mixed with some volatility, mixed with some catalyst. I mean, there's a mixture of all kinds of things going on here. And, to call it a good setup here, it's kind of the right thing to do and the right thing to look for. That now that we're basing out and we're slowing down in selling, there's a lot more buyers coming in at these bottoms. So the buyers are trying to show up. The past week, the past few trading sessions, they've been showing up as much as they potentially can. And what is creating as well is the sellers are still coming in. So you have a clashing of both bulls and bears coming in, trying to reclaim these levels, trying to find some good value in the market. So in general, what you want to look for is for stocks to slow down in selling and for buyers to start coming in and start loading up a little by little. Okay, so it's good that we're basing out, guys. So don't freak out and don't call this chop. Anybody out there who's calling the chop probably has no idea what's going on in the market. Therefore, they are staying out and they're missing out on a lot of these price action plays. Buy the bottom, sell at the top. Buy at the top, sell at the bottom, right? Keep it very simple. It's a range, right? If you know that it's respecting those support and resistance levels, how come you're not playing them? It's very simple, actually, because if you ask me, you're going to enter here for puts and you're going to stop out right there. If you enter for calls down here, you're going to stop out down here. Very simple. The risk to reward just makes sense, right? But again, don't be scared of this, guys. All right, follow the trend, respect the levels, and understand the bigger picture we're actually basing out in the market. So this is why I always look at the futures, because it gives you a better understanding and a gauge into the market as to where we may lead, right? So look at this piece. I want to point out this piece right here for you guys, where we created a nice little base. Here's your rally base rally. Here's your drop down where we came down and retested, and we pushed right back up into these levels where we created this nice little supply. From that supply, we created a nice downtrend, and then we created a drop base drop. Here's your drop base drop. Here is your base where we kind of slow down, and look at that level where we're at right now. And then look what we're doing. We kind of went back in here. We confirmed that there were sellers, so the trend continued to the downside. All right. So unfortunately, that's exactly how it played out. Now look at this. On the way down, we created a nice structure. Okay, just showing you guys what's happening here with the flag here. So here's your rejection of that zone. Blew through right this one here. Came down, created a flag, came down, and now we're creating the bottom of supply and demand. Supply on top, demand at bottom, right? So the structure on the movement is pretty decent. It's a nice, well balanced market all across the board. And we have many, many plays out there that have a lot of potential either to the top side or to the downside, where there's just a shift change in the market and the balance is being controlled. And as long as we have this, we're okay. Okay. Now, if we start breaking below this 42.70 level, then for sure, I think there's going to be a bigger problem and we're probably just going to fall off the cliff. So let's look at these levels here. Here is the next level where we kind of bounced from. Okay, this is kind of the level where we had a little bounce play and we're holding this. All right, so anything Like I said, below this like 42.70, 42.50 level, I think we're going to have some serious problems, and we're probably going to come back way down here to these bottom levels of like 41.70 and like this 41.50 area, even as low as this like 40.38, in which case I personally wouldn't like to see, but I would like to see if that were to happen, just so we can get some on sale stocks and, you know, load up for portfolio long term. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that we're looking at this base and we're creating a nice base in the next few trading sessions, even if it lasts to the 15th. I really don't mind, as long as we can hold and base out, right? Create structure. Okay, so this is for a yes. So I'm going to look at a couple more things for you guys, and I'm going to point out some things, right? So let's go look at some risk to reward plays, right? Here we have Facebook trending down. And what is Facebook doing? We actually created this nice little base down here. All right, so what I'm pointing out to you guys is the bases that are going to be created. All right, and again, I'm just going to go through some. Look at Apple. I'm actually in Apple calls. Came down here, broke this little downtrend yesterday, came down, retested bottom again. Like I said, we're finding a lot of support. Here's your support, and we're breaking this trend here, and we're now pushing up. So I have all these alerts on Apple on the way up. Here we had Amazon as well create this demand, right? And then if you scroll down here, same demand and the retest of this base down here. So it's at a perfect level for a buy area. Netflix just has been on a monster move, so there's nothing wrong with Netflix. Let it just go all the way to 650 and trail every whole number. Google, it looks like if it came and reclaimed this base right here, so it's showing a lot of strength. Microsoft looks like it's one of the first ones to out of some of the tech to bust through the base that it built as well, and it's also pushing through. And just to show you how well these bases work out, and just to show you, look at this, how we just came bouncing up today, and that's at a solid move today. So congratulations to anybody who had Microsoft on their watch list, 285 all the way to 293. If you held diamond hands, if you're swinging, great job for you. Hopefully you trail stop at like 290, 291, stay in the green. So pointing out a few things in the market that just kind of makes sense right now. MU is at this bottom level of demand. This is a weekly level. If you guys, you know, search your charts, do some homework and look at MU. So look at this demand right here, this nice support. The 69 and the 70 level is kind of like the support on the weekly. We're going to look at NVIDIA, same thing. It's building a base right here. So again, guys, I'm just showing you guys what the potential is when you have the market, you know, going sideways. A lot of you guys call it chop, but in reality, what it's doing is it's called an accumulation phase, where it's building support, it's building structure, and it's giving you a great level to start dip buying. Okay, all this stuff that goes sideways, you got to make sure that you set your own alerts, because once they break out, these things are going to end up popping to the top. Okay, look at this level here on TSM. Like, tell me this is not a great level to dip buy. If you dip buy right here, okay, if you enter, yes, I get it, we're heading into earnings, but this can definitely be a run up into earnings. You're technically grabbing a longer play here, and your stop loss would be this bottom of 106. You're risking about $3 to gain, I don't even know how to do the math here, but all the way to 120. Like, that's a huge move, with 115 being your first target. Come on, $3 for all that move. It makes perfect sense to look for risk to reward plays. Some of you are very busy trying to take the breakouts of something that's already moving, and you miss that the structures in the bottom at supports are the major players and are the major stocks that are going to give you even more profits. You know, if you were to have the choice today, right now, and somebody said you have $1 million to buy a stock right now, right? And they told you you have the choice to choose between TSM and Netflix today, right now, what would you choose? Look at the level that it's at, the level that TSM and the value that this has versus something like Netflix at all-time highs. What would you choose, right? So the mindset has to change, because some of you are still busy trying to trade the top of this when the move already happened and the move has already been trending, right? TSM has not reached that level. TSM is actually at a great buy level. Look at this. Rejected a lot of this, and it's been basing. Every time we come down here, what do? Go up. It takes some time. Yes. Again, I'm not here to day trade a little trade for a 5-minute candle and to break above and to close above, just to take it from 110 to 110.60. Like, that's not my purpose. My purpose is to find value in these stocks and find value at demand levels. So by doing this, you're setting yourself up for a good profit margin and a good option contract swing, even as shares. Okay, it's technically at a great buy. I'm adding this to my watch list for the next coming days. So very simple, right? All right, so pointing that out, and again, I'm just going through a few stocks. Look at this Walmart. Okay, and all I'm doing is just looking at a couple things, looking at some retail, looking at some chips, looking at some FANG stocks, and look what these are creating. These are creating bases. Okay, all that base, even though it had a huge drop, now it's cooling off. It's creating accumulation phase, and it's going to get ready to uptrend again. We're just waiting for the market to continue to the top. And I know there's a lot of catalysts out there that is creating a bunch of fear. But have no fear, because we're going to follow these charts and we're actually looking at what's actually being built. Look at Nike. Nike again retested this level here. I actually traded this yesterday, and I traded the breakout over this 148, and I took profit around 149, and this thing ended up going even further. So it hit my first profit target, and I ended up taking profit again. It's accumulation phase. It's retesting here. So if it keeps on breaking 150, it's definitely just going to continue back up. All right, let's go look at PayPal. PayPal is another one that's kind of creating the same base here. Okay, so here you go. Here is a base. Here's some more support down here. Again, guys, I'm looking at some of these tickers, and a lot of them, I tell you, a lot of them are at support levels. Okay, MAV, same thing. It looks like we found this bottom down here. So take a look around, guys, and don't think that there's no opportunity. Don't think that there's tons of plays that are super bearish, because what's actually being created is a lot of bases everywhere, and it's creating a lot of dip buy opportunities. So had you guys kept track of Roku as well, this was actually still on the watch list for the week, and it's actually broke down on Monday. Tuesday we kind of came back inside. Wednesday we're holding this level. Look at the level that Roku bounced on right here at this like 300 psychological level and this like 295 area. We hit here, and then now we're holding. So there's a stronger potential that Roku can trend change here, and all my alerts are right here over this 324, just to get more of a confident entry today. I think today the move was too aggressive, so I don't think trading calls over 324 would make sense. I think if we buy the dip right here around this 313, even just a bit lower to 310, the lowest, it would make more sense to get it on that dip buy. So even Twitter, same thing. Again, we found some support, so there's tons of stocks out there, guys, that are finding support. FDX, UPS is building a support right here as well. So there's tons out there, guys. So just want to make sure that you guys understand like how that it's actually working, because even XLF, right? So let's go look at some financials. The financials are in the same thing. We're actually still creating this higher highs right here in between the range, and we're not making lower lows. And we're holding some good levels on JPM. I have my alerts over at 39. So JPM, sorry, that was XLF. JPM, we're heading into earnings on 10/12. So banks are going to kick off the earnings season. And again, look at GS. GS, a nice support that was found here. BAC, look at this nice trend just pushing on up. C, it has a nice base here as well that we can crack over this like 73 and continue all the way into that 74 and run up into earnings. So like I said, I just want to point out these things for you guys that just make sense. And you guys remember Jets. I'm going to bring it up again. Look at the retest here. Look at the retest here again. It's still trending up no matter what you guys say in the market. Like, I know everybody's like super bearish, but look at this trend. The trend here is going to keep on going up. Okay. Let's go look at some of these tickers. Look at DAL. Nice trend to the top side. LUV. LUV. Nice trend to the top side. Save. Here's another one. Okay. This one's trading a little different. So I would say that this one's more like your lagger in the airlines, but definitely still great. AAL. I would say this is another lagger in the airlines, but still, nonetheless, we are still above that 2050. If we can break 21 and 22, we'll definitely be looking for longer plays for AAL. But overall, like the jet sector, the airlines, all of it's looking great still. So there's no reason not to be trading calls on red candles, all right? Let's go look at things like HD. HD has been holding this range up here for quite some time. So my alerts are right here over this like 332, even 335. If we can crack 340 again, this thing would show an intense amount of strength, right? Let me show you another one. Here is low. Low is the other one that's been holding this support, even with the market being very bearish across the board. Why has low not dropped? Okay, why has low not followed the market sentiment? For the past few weeks, the market has been trending down, and look at low just hanging out right here at the support. I was actually waiting to see if this would even drop today, but it never did, and we actually traded calls today. There was a decent setup on this on the 15. As you can see here, we kind of had this little range here. We're getting tight around these levels here, and it created this here one little pop, and you're green on the position, and that's it. You're done for the day trade, right? But again, we're holding these nice levels, right? Cat is the other one. Cat is the one that I'm actually in a swing play, and look at my intense amount of alerts here. Why do I have so many? Because of the risk to reward when it comes to this. The reward to this top is amazing. I think that this is one of the tickers that's probably got smacked for no reason. I believe that there was some news right here that was created that kind of affected CAT, which created a hard sell-off, and then every base that we try to build up and trade to the top side, it just kept getting rejected. So now we finally created this like double bottom down here. We created a buyer's wick here, and it's still showing that buyers are interested in CAT. Long term, I think CAT at this 190 level is still a great buy. Imagine buying 1 million shares right here at 190. A year or two from now, we end up around 245. That is a huge percentage gain right there. Huge, okay? Not only that, but there's just so much reward to the top side that we can still keep on trading. And yes, I am in calls, and they're in the money. So 190s and 192s, 192.50s for October 22nd. I'm not trying to go too far. And then some 15th, October 15th as well. So just kind of trading it in between. So as long as we hold here, and if we break 195, I think the 195 will come straight up here into this 204, just to test this level again and create more momentum. And also there's like an infrastructure happening that may happen, may come out pretty soon. So whenever that comes out, I guess that's what's probably gonna affect more movement for CAT as well. So again, do your own research, guys. You know, don't take my word for that news, but definitely look into it and how a catalyst can affect a stock. So so yeah, there's plenty of stocks out there, guys, that are basing out. VIX is still cooling off. There's really nothing wrong with that. Oil's just been rocking and rolling. This thing is just on a nice uptrend. So if you buy on red candles, great job. Gold is still flat. There's not much going on with gold. But either way, I still have my alerts here. All my alerts just for the right up. RTY on the weekly time frame, guys. I want to make sure you guys are all aware that this pattern is being created. This doesn't have to break anytime soon, but it can. And all my alerts are, like I said, ready for the top side. I don't think this will break down. And the reason I say that is because even through what this market is going through with, you know, the ups and downs all across the board, this sector, the Russell, is still holding this pattern. It's respecting its pattern. It's trading inside, up and down, up and down. And the I think that if the market reverses in general, I think that this is going to be the next runner. And this is what I keep saying. I bring this up on every single video. This one, jets, airlines, and small caps, they're going to be rocking and rolling. The Russells. So make sure you guys keep track of this pattern. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't have this, because anybody out there who trades stocks, who is, finding patterns, I'm sure they have these same trend lines. Once they have these same trend lines, they're the ones that are going to be trading long over those patterns as well. So keep in mind, there are more than 10 eyes on this. There are more than 100. There are more than 1,000, because this world is pretty big. And there's a lot of people out there who trade stocks and know how to trade patterns. If they know how to do this, there's a higher probability that the breakout will be aggressive and intense. So this has been since 2000, well, from the beginning of the year, basically. So for one whole year, we've been trading sideways. Come on, guys, like on a weekly time frame, this is definitely going to be a huge pop. It's going to be a huge pop or a huge drop where the economy just goes to crap. One of the two is going to happen, but I really don't think the economy is going to go bad. My honest opinion, I just think that the feds and everyone else out there, they're not going to let this economy go and crash down. I don't think that would be very wise of our decision making, with the economy and stuff. But again, it doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. None of it matters, because we don't know what's going on. And all we know is that we're going to follow these charts, set the alerts, and follow the alerts. And that's plain and simple, right? So again, who cares about the outside noise? We want to be aware, but we want to make sure we follow the charts. So look at Disney as well, still holding this nice base in here. And I'm pointing out a lot of these bases, guys, because what this is really creating for us in the market is creating a lot of good structure, a lot of accumulation phase, where if we do break to the top, a lot of these bases are going to break out and continue to the top side. Like look at ARC. It's already building a lot more bases down here. Looks like it's cooling off, and buyers are coming in at a great buy level as well. So I'm also in ARC calls as well. If you guys don't know, I'm in 110 calls. It's actually closed green, so pretty awesome. So yeah, guys, this market is looking good. Don't think that the word chop is going to be something negative. Use this as the accumulation phase and understand what's happening with supply and demand. There's buyers coming in, stepping in, but there's also sellers fighting against us. Once that happens, it creates the pressure in those ranges. And when those ranges break, the pressure just pops, and it ends up, reaching these highs and new momentum and new volatility. And it brings a lot of buyers in all those stocks that are downtrending, which create trend changes, which create a great profit margin and great risk to reward to the top side. So there's good things happening, and just make sure you stay on top of this. You catch these plays, you understand what's happening within the charts, and who cares what everyone else is saying in the Discord servers? Who cares what social media is saying? Okay, who cares about the hype? Who cares about the fear that's being put in? Play the charts, understand what's happening, and set your own alerts. Become self-sufficient. Okay, that's the whole purpose of all these videos that we're providing for you guys, so you can understand what's happening on the bigger picture. And this clearly shows here, a lot of tickers that I just gave you guys are basing out, and I'm giving you something that may trend change in the next couple of days. Who knows? It may happen overnight. That catalyst may be so aggressive and strong that it creates bullish momentum all across the board. And next thing you know, you guys are banking off a bunch of calls and leaps and so forth. All right. But again, this thing can go the opposite. The news and catalyst can create a negative sentiment. And next thing you know, we're breaking the bases to the bottom, and then, we're crashing on down, and then we're correcting pretty heavily. So whichever one comes first, we break we trade the break of the bases that everything else out there is forming. So remember, that's good. accumulation phase. Okay, creating demand or creating supply, whichever one comes first. So just want to give you guys this update on plenty of tickers that are out there, just so you're all aware that there's still a lot of good probability out there that we have good call plays. All right, so make sure you guys watch ARC, watch CAT, watch TSM low, and Roku, and plenty other tickers out there that I just showed you guys, and of course Apple, Amazon, even Facebook, honestly. So that's a good place, guys. Make sure you guys keep those alerts on those. Figure out the top of the base, figure out the bottom, measure that, and that's going to be the size of the breakout. Okay, the size of the range is the size of the break. Remember that. Bigger time frames, the better the move is. So yeah, hopefully it give you guys a little understanding in the market, and you guys are not panicking, and hopefully the bulls are celebrating today because it was a nice solid green day. And yeah, hopefully we stay bullish in the next upcoming sessions, or even the next couple of weeks. So again, look out for the next video, guys, on Sunday. I'll definitely come out with some more setups and some proper levels for you guys to trade on the weekly list. So hopefully you guys are banking on some of those. So yeah, you guys stay green. Remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you guys need anything, even any mentoring, let us know at Conservative Collectors. We're there to help you, there to help you grow and all that fun stuff. All right, so I'll see you guys in the chats, and you guys stay green.